The most dangerous form of power is the one that no one can trace. You enter a room and everyone falls silent. You speak and they agree without even thinking, not because they openly fear you, but because your aura somehow compels them to yield. This is not a coincidence. It is a carefully crafted plan. Machiavelli knew this secret. The aura is an invisible weapon of rulers. Today, you will learn how to create your own. Power does not always stem from action. Sometimes it is born from stillness, which feels like a storm. Machiavelli mastered the art of managing people by controlling their emotions in his presence. It is the pressure in the room, the tension in the air. It is the aura. And if you build it correctly, people will follow you, sway, and submit without even understanding why. What if your very presence causes people to doubt their confidence? What if your silence strips them of control? Machiavelli understood one fundamental truth. The one who controls the atmosphere controls the outcome. If you want to stop being ignored and start being obeyed, do not raise your voice. Elevate your presence. A person who does not blink intimidates everyone else. Machiavelli knew that aura is built on how you do not react, on how your calmness does not shatter, while your stillness dominates. When you stop trying to impress and start skillfully managing your energy, you become someone who cannot be ignored. Today, I will show you how to become that person. Machiavelli once wrote, "Everyone sees how you appear. Few experience who you truly are." These words were not poetic. They were surgically precise, a warning never to reveal your essence. Because once they know you, they can predict you. And if they can predict you, they can control you. Your aura is not built on truth. It is built on the illusion of truth. Carefully designed, effortlessly maintained. You are not here to be understood. You are here to be misinterpreted and confronted, misunderstood, yet still subdued. The ordinary person seeks connection. They want to be recognized, loved, accepted. But the Machiavellian sees this as a trap, a facade, a vulnerability, transparency, responsibility. What they see in you should be a shadow, not a mirror. If they can read your face, they can prepare. If they can predict your actions, they can neutralize you. This is how they dominate. They win not by force, but by anticipation. You must never allow them to anticipate you. Secretly, this is your armor. You are not obliged to be clear. You are obliged to be effective. Speak in fragments. Leave your sentences unfinished. Make your thoughts resemble puzzles. Let them figure it out for themselves. They will fill in the gaps with their fears. And here lies the twist. The version of you that they concoct will always be stronger than the one you could explain. You do not need to be trusted. You need to be enigmatic. Trust is a leash. Secretly, it is a weapon. Let them speculate. Let them whisper. Let them argue about what you meant. While they are busy deciphering you, they have already submitted to your presence. Never correct their assumptions. If they think you are kind, let it be so. If they consider you cruel, let it be so. If they believe you are indifferent, just smile and disappear. Because the moment they start to wonder what you are really thinking, you have already won. Be confident today and vanish tomorrow. Be warm for a moment and cold for a week. Let it seem as though they have almost figured you out, and then become something entirely different. Machiavelli understood that rulers should not be known. They should be imagined. You do not want to live in their memory. You want to exist in their uncertainty. Manage perception, giving them nothing clear to grasp, because when they cannot define you, they cannot reject you. They cannot confine you within a frame. They cannot fight what they do not see. Retreat strategically, disappear when expected, appear when it is most convenient. Change tone, image, and energy, not because you are lost, but because you are always becoming. Fluidity is dominance. Predictability is death. And when they confront you, when they demand clarity, say nothing. Instead, say something so vague that it sounds like the truth but resolves nothing. Speak like fog. Present yet unattainable. Say, "You already know the answer," or "What makes you think I did not plan this?" These phrases create doubt. They evoke fear. They return power to you. Even your silence should speak. Let your lack of explanations haunt them. Let your unpredictability shape their behavior. They will begin to adapt to your mood. They will learn to navigate around your presence. They will anticipate their reactions even when you do not give them. Thus, the aura becomes control. When people start to align with your imagined expectations, never be who they think you are. Never finish the story they began. Always change the narrative before they read the last chapter. The aura dies in repetition, so refresh yourself, evolve, destroy old versions of yourself like kings eliminate threats, swiftly, quietly, without regret. You are not a person in their eyes. You are a possibility, a question, an atmosphere, a fear they cannot shake from their minds. That is power, because those who cannot be read cannot be defeated. The aura begins before a single word is spoken, before your mouth opens, before eyes meet. It starts with silence, with stillness, with the pause that enters the room with you, making everyone forget what they were just saying. In a world that plays to the audience, you must be felt, not seen, not heard. Felt. Machiavelli never begged for attention. He created it. He understood that true influence begins with perception. Most people confuse volume with power, but those who truly dominate speak less and command more. Presence is not what you say. It is what your existence does to others. It is a psychological aspect, a game of tension and suggestion. Presence is so powerful that it changes the mood in the room before you say a single word. You must subtract rather than add. Most people enter a room and try to fill it with noise, jokes, and energy. They want to be loved. They crave approval. But approval is for the weak. You do not need approval. You need tension. You need silence. When you enter, you want them to look and then look again. You want to disrupt their rhythm and tap into their instincts. Your secret is stillness. Stillness creates discomfort. Most people fidget, twitch, overshare, and try too hard. But you simply sit calmly. You speak slowly and move as if the world can wait. You occupy space like a person who owns time. That is power. Everything begins with your walk. Unhurried, not energetic, deliberate. Each step says, I am not in a rush because I am not chasing anything. You do not chase, you attract. You do not react, you observe. Your posture is straight, not stiff, composed. Your hands do not move without necessity. Your head does not dart around. You do not seek attention. You are attention. Dress as if your presence is worth something. Not loudly, not extravagantly, but carefully and thoughtfully. Everything about you should convey that this person does not need validation. You do not compete with the loud. You disarm them effortlessly. Most people wear brands to be noticed. You wear silence to be remembered. And when you finally speak, do so slowly, with control, without unnecessary words or nervous laughter. Speak like someone who weighs their words, because each word has value. Do not rush your response. Let silence work for you. The longer your pause, the greater the weight of your answer. Let them feel the gap before your voice enters. This creates anticipation, tension, even fear. This is your aura. Do not smile by default. A default smile signals weakness and a plea for acceptance. Your face should radiate calm authority, not aggressively or unfriendly, just impenetrably. Because impenetrable people are unforgettable. And here is the secret that Machiavelli knew. When people cannot read you, they become obsessed with thinking about you. Their minds fill in the gaps. They build stories, create myths, and the myth becomes stronger than the truth ever could be. When you enter a room, do not try to connect. Let them approach you. If you try to join their rhythm, you have already given in. You must set the rhythm. Let them adjust to your energy. You are not cold. You are composed. You are not detached. You are dangerous. Your presence should awaken something primal in them. Not fear, but uncertainty, curiosity, respect bordering on anxiety. They should not know whether they seek your approval or your protection. They should only know that you are important. Above all, be consistent. Aura is not a performance you put on for a moment. It is the atmosphere in which you live. It is the weight of your essence, even when no one is watching. Because it is when no one is watching that your self-control is forged. Never try to be interesting, be controlled, be sharp, be precise. Because presence in the spirit of Machiavelli is not about being visible all the time. It is about being memorable always. So stop trying to be everywhere. Be rare, be slow, be still, and watch the world begin to revolve around you. Power that is easily gained is also easily ignored. Machiavelli understood this better than anyone. Value is an illusion, and illusions must be created. If you are always available, always in demand, always ready to agree, you become ordinary, and ordinariness is the graveyard of power. Let fools offer themselves to the world. Let them desperately display their emotions, their time, their presence. You are not one of them. You are a rarity and must behave accordingly. The powerful never chase after anyone. They attract. They are not approached. They are sought after. You must become precious, not in a material sense, but in an energetic one. Interacting with you should feel like a privilege, not an ordinary encounter. Your attention should seem valuable, and this will make people crave it. You do not smile for no reason. You do not give your opinion freely. You do not linger in one place. You arrive when you choose and disappear without warning. The mystery of your presence is more valuable than the noise of their existence. Stop responding instantly. Stop appearing everywhere. Stop becoming a predictable element in someone else's life. Predictability breeds comfort, and comfort destroys reverence. If you want to be loved, let them miss you. If you want respect, allow them to feel your absence. The more they see you, the less they feel. So, retreat strategically, without hatred, mercilessly, not with malice but with indifference. We are precise. Machiavelli wrote that a ruler should strive to be more frightening than loved. But true genius lies in being talked about more than seen, becoming a quiet topic of conversation, a ghost that governs the room with its absence. Such is the aura of rarity. They should wonder where you are, why you do not speak more, why you do not look at them like others do. These questions, this intrigue, are the seeds of obsession, and you must nurture them subtly. Show interest for a moment, then withdraw. Give a compliment once, then it will become cold. Grant them your presence, then take it away, not out of cruelty, but to teach them. To teach them that your attention is not currency thrown around carelessly. It is a kingdom, and entry into it must be earned. As soon as you become too accessible, it becomes too easy to dismiss you. Your energy should feel like a limited resource, something not available to everyone, a room with velvet ropes, and your words spoken with caution. You are not a celebration. You are a token, a measure, an invisible pressure that makes people grow or shrink, even in love, in friendship, in business. Your rarity will define your status. You do not call often. You do not check in. You take time for yourself. You do not explain your silence. This silence is a message. People crave what they cannot predict, what they cannot hold on to, what comes too quickly to define. It should be you. Do not confuse this with arrogance. Arrogance demands attention, but your aura draws it away. You do not need applause when you enter a room. You need silence. You do not require validation from those around you. Conversations should fade in your presence. This is not narcissism. This is dominance. Psychological, tactical, uncompromising. They should work for you, and when they think they have earned a piece of you, remind them once again, you are not a gift to be claimed. You are a force to be sought after. Your time is not free. Your gaze is not free. Your opinion is not free. Everything about you must be earned, and when it is earned, it should never be taken for granted. This is how you make power valuable, not through shouting, not through demands, but by becoming the rarest person in every room and creating an absence that cannot be overlooked. Your aura is not personal, it is environmental. Most people enter a room and become part of it. They adapt to the temperature, tone, and rhythm already established. But a Machiavellian presence is the opposite. You do not adapt. you infect. You do not merely exist in the room, you control it. When you enter, you do not react to the energy, you reshape it. Others laugh loudly, you do not. Others fidget, you remain still. Others try to draw attention, you never ask for it, and yet it bends toward you. Why? Because of your aura, atmospheric. It is not about what you say. It is about how the air changes when you appear. You must remain calm when others are lost. You must be silent when others chatter. You must look as if you know something they do not, because you truly do know. Control is never loud. Machiavelli understood the psychology of power better than any general. He knew that people naturally submit to those who seem unshakable. If you can remain composed amidst chaos, they will begin to seek direction from you, even if you do not provide it. Your greatest weapon in any room is stillness. This is not natural. This makes people feel uncomfortable. They begin to project meaning onto your silence, onto your unblinking eyes, onto your steady posture. They wonder if you are judging them, if you are calculating or planning something. They will invent threats. They attribute power to you to justify why you remain so unperturbed. Using this, you do not compete for attention. The sun does not explain itself to candles. Let them burn themselves trying to be heard. You will remain unflappable, unimpressed, absolute. You must perceive the room as a battlefield, and on this battlefield, your silence is not a voice. This is emotional control. Stillness is dominance. If they are nervous, flustered, overly agitated, and you remain indifferent, you win. Even your body language must serve your strategy. Sit as though you have already conquered the conversation. Do not blink when challenged. Do not lean forward as if seeking connection. Let them reach out to you. Let your eyes scan the room as if you are assessing it, not seeking approval or friends, but studying it like a ruler calculating the weaknesses of their court. Speak when it is necessary, and when you speak, do it as if your words have the power to change the atmosphere in the room. If your presence is felt, your voice becomes a command. Even the way you end conversations matters. Do not linger, conclude with purpose, as if your time is too valuable to waste. Stand like a person who is awaited, not like one who waits to be heard. If someone tries to dominate the room with ego, humor, or status, do not fight them. Allow them to reveal themselves. Let them show their need for approval, and then say something simple. Quietly, sharply, and once again immerse yourself in silence. This silence will resonate louder than their performance. You do not need to adjust to the energy in the room. You set it. You decide whether it will be tense, cold, intimate, or dangerous. This is the highest form of social control, leadership in an environment without declaration. They do not need to understand why the air becomes heavier when you are near. They do not need to know why they sit up straighter, speak more slowly, or pause before they talk. They will simply do it. This is the aura, and Machiavelli would say that the one who shapes the atmosphere also shapes the decisions made within it. People do not follow reason, they follow energy. They submit to whoever seems to be the winner, and the one who has won does not speak to prove it. He simply exists, quietly, unshakably, like gravity. Therefore, do not strive to be the center of attention. Be the one who commands the energy around him. When people enter your space, let them feel the difference. Let them adjust to you, your rhythm, your tone, your silence. You are not just a voice in the chaos. You are the tension they did not expect, the calm they cannot ignore. This is how you take control of the room without lifting a finger. The most powerful ruler is the one whom no one sees, issuing orders, yet to whom everyone submits. This is the true Machiavellian aura, not theatrical, not loud, not boastful. It does not demand submission. It invites it, penetrating the mind and shaping perception, rewriting the rules of the room until people agree to submit, unaware that they are following your will. This is the ultimate form of aura, a quiet tyranny. You do not dominate by force. You dominate by presence, expectation, invisible gravity. Like a king whose crown is invisible but felt, the world teaches to command with words, to assert authority with noise. But noise is resistance. Noise is struggle. The highest game is to control effortlessly, to influence without commands, to dominate without showing it. And it all begins with planting one idea. You are the one they must align with. You never beg, you never ask, you never persuade. Instead, you become the standard to which they adjust, the tones they imitate, the rhythms they follow, the approval they quietly seek. Let your actions be rare but decisive. Let your gaze be rare yet penetrating. Allow your attention to become like a heavenly spotlight, warming when directed at them, and cold when it is absent. People are drawn to power because it proves to be inevitable. You must become that inevitability. Even when you are silent, your preferences should resonate. Even when you are not present, your presence should guide decisions. They should waver and question themselves, so that you are considered. Not because you told them, but because your energy still lingers in the room. Become the invisible ruler of every social structure you enter. Not a face of control, but its spirit. For this, you must completely rid yourself of the need for approval. You do not elevate when praised. You do not flinch when criticized. You are above emotion and above petty friction and approval. You act with such inner confidence that others begin to doubt their own thoughts, simply by being near you. The highest form of influence, when people think it was their idea. Therefore, never push, just attract. See through questions, through silence, through reactions, so minimal that they become a mirror for another person's conscience. Not people, not sure of what you want, but desperately eager to provide it. Not because you said so, but because something in your calm, impenetrable presence made them want to comply. And when they disappoint you, you do not get angry. You do not explain. You simply withdraw coldly, cleanly, definitively, and they will feel the loss, as if the guillotine fell without warning. When someone has felt your aura, your absence becomes punishment enough. This is the power of the quiet tyrant. You despise laws. You are the law, not through threat, but through necessity. People will align with your energy, like planets around the sun. And when they forget your value, you disappear. Let them suffocate in the vacuum that you left behind. When they plead for your return, you will understand that it was never necessary to speak, to rule the name. You rule the name at the moment, when they change for you, unbeknownst to themselves. This is the Machiavellian aura, not a performance of presence, not charisma, but command, not control through force, but control through silence. So complete that it is called respect. Let others chase applause. You will become the gravity around which they revolve, the voice they have never heard, but always followed. And if you want more ruthless instincts, if you wish to sharpen your mind, to hone your presence, and build a power that does not fade under pressure, then do not just look, but remain hidden. Never forget. True kings never need a throne to rule.